people to do that. And then there are spirits that are spirits of spirits of spirits. These are bigger than entities. These things right here, these they are like Thanos. So that's when I say fighting Volturi, we fighting Thanos. But not one Thanos. It's like having 10 to 20 Thanoses in one room. And you fighting them all at one time. And you seeing lights going out. You just constantly seeing lights going out. And you like, okay. And it was like 5 of us left in the room to 20 other Thanoses. You put it together. How hard we been fighting? We've been fighting hard. And we've been behind the scenes. Watching people shine. Because we've been holding the anchor. Okay. This is when that negative thinking has been going on for so long that it's a norm in society. You know, that racism, them isms, that colonialism, the imperialism, the sexism, all of that. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That stuff that we don't want to talk about. The stuff that I don't see color, but if you don't see color, you don't see me. And I am just a number to you. So I don't even want to be around you to hear that, because that is asinine and ignorant. This is what every ascended master had to fight against. The mindsets of us who complain but don't want to do the work, or don't know how to do the work because you don't know what to do next. And it causes a dip in morale. Most can't get out because it's ancestral and generational. So that's 1,000 years, honey. You know what? Woo, that's big. So to get out requires one to get uncomfortable and get past the plateau of complacency or complicitness. This is how we've always did it, because complicitness says, I don't want to choose a side, but the minute you said that you're complicit, you've already chosen a side. So you already chosen to be with the system. And the system don't love nobody. You don't know. Look at the people they shooting up and spitting out. The people that was black that chose to get on that side because they thought that it was going to win. When are we going to respect each other? I'm just asking. When are we going to respect each other? Yes, the FBAs was here first. We was here first. We got all the stuff from the Smithsonian. We got all this paperwork. So if you want to sit there and act like we weren't here, we were. And then it also says, we know everybody else is important. So what you bringing to life? Are you just complaining? Because complaining ain't doing nothing but adding to what the system is doing. You can change the world with the one thing that you do that lights up the world. You can be a superstar. Fight for your dream while hurting none. God said you can make whatever you want as long as you don't hurt nobody, you don't hurt yourself, and you keep God in your life. And you keep going, because let me tell you something. This spirit realm right here, this spiritual battle we're in, if you don't have something on the other side, I don't care if it's Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Hecate, Ishu, Arumala, Oru. I don't care who you got on the other side, but you don't need somebody. Because if you don't have nobody on the other side, lights out, baby. And that's all I'm saying, because these things right here, they ain't playing no games. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks. Do we? And look, I'm not giving no glory to the darkness. I'm just letting you know what we're fighting. It ain't just what you see. They ain't in the people that's what you see. But the stuff that's back there, but we bigger than that. And see, that's why we need to get together and join hands, not kumbaya, but get together, lay down our petty differences, and be the America that I know we can be. We was with it from 9/11, and 9/11 was a setup. Everything has been a setup. Ain't nothing been real. That was to keep us in control, because 9/11 was supposed to be another reset. But they kept us from doing the reset. Look at it. Go look and see what was going on. Do what is right for you. 2017 was that too. Look at, that's when I was fighting that cancer battle. And won. No one lives your life but you. Remember that. Be sovereign. Don't be controlled by people. Think for yourself. Have critical thinking. Question everything. Everything that comes before you, question it. Protect those that can't and don't know how to protect themselves. Do so. Bring your dream to life no matter what you see in front of you. Don't let nothing stop you from bringing your dream to pass. May the force be with you as you go, and the power of God be in your heart as you move. Don't let nothing stop you. You keep it moving. Keep on moving, don't stop. There are some freebies and a link to the podcast with the Women's Leveling Up recently. That was in the month of May, and then I was in the magazine September, October, December, and January. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to speak with you soon. Remember, I placed a new link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. No matter what you got going on. Because it don't matter. It don't care about your religion. It don't care about none of that. Okay? But this is about talking to God. And everybody got a different name by God. Ooh, this is about patience. Page 51. Be patient and trust my voice as we go into the next adventure. Pay attention to everything and don't let anything go without asking me about it. And then we got, that's always some good stuff. Then we got 2 other books. Befriending Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of these books are shadow activity books. Okay? Why do I call them shadow activity books? I was seeing all the shadow workbooks and they were just workhorse. I said, no, I'm not a workhorse. I need some fun. My inner teenager, my inner child needs some fun. God would say, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you get a word of knowledge and you get some exercise. The exercises are fun. They are interactive. Okay. So you get like 3 where you're going to have hunts all through the house looking for stuff. You got to find, what do you have? It's like that game you do when you say, what you got in your purse and you see what you got. Yeah, one of those games, what you got in the house. Okay. And then it's the shadow question. Shadow question, not so fun. Why? Because it makes you look at yourself in the mirror. Nobody wants to look at themselves in the mirror. You want to complain and you want to blame it on somebody else. But if you see it over there, it's over here. Remember that. It's over there. It's over here. That's how it works. You can't see it out there unless there's a piece of it in here. We know, we don't like to talk about that, but it's true. And then you got a color page. The color pages are God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. It can happen after 10, but most of it starts there because the people that were supposed to protect you didn't know how to protect you because nobody protected them. Okay? And then by the age of 7, it is solidified. By the age of 10, it is really in you. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now your responsibility because now you're considered an adult. So it's now your responsibility to walk out because in between 21 and 25, you think you know everything and nobody can tell you anything. So now it's your responsibility to deal with the problem. Okay. And then the 5th thing you get is 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, whatever you want to do. Why? Because the closer you get to God, the more you start having them Stranger Things, X-Files, Doctor Who, and Twilight Zone moments. You look around and stuff is happening. And if you try to tell somebody that, because we're in the age of AI, they're going to say you came up with it, but you didn't. And you trying to tell people that it's going to take someone to be with you. That's what happened to me. I was telling people that I could see through things. And something happened to where I was like, fine, let me show it to you. So I said, grab my hand. And when they grabbed my hand, I was like, now look at the pole. Now, can you see through the pole? Because I can see through the pole. She was like, oh my God, I can see through the pole. How did you do that? I said, I don't know. It's just, it happens. And, she was like, yo, that is crazy. I said, I know. I don't know how it happened. So, I don't know how it happened. So, yeah. So, and in my other 2 books that I have, already on the New York Times bestseller list, Influence and Impact with Chris Voss, Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. So I just see stuff that other people that can't see, and people look at you weird because you can see stuff, because while you're lying to me, I see the spirit behind everything that you're doing. And I'm just like, wow. But you know what? You can't bind the strong man that you love. So I allow you to walk away with it because you enjoy it. But if you say, I want to be free, that's another thing. Then we start popping. Okay, no matter what your background. Because God don't care about your background, because you know what? God knows all the hairs on your head. God knows all the hairs on your head, honey. And if you don't have any hair on your head, you know the wig, you know the toupee, you know all of that. Okay, you know all your business in the booth in the back of the door. Ain't none hidden from God. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books to help you meditate and recalibrate your mind. I'm excited about the venture because I have a lot of stuff on Amazon, a full catalog. Type up my name, you're going to see it. But on my special bookstore, this is how you fight Thanos. Not just one Thanos. 20 of them at the same time that nobody sees. Okay. Don't forget the link to the 105 spiritual laws. We're no longer underneath the spiritual laws. We're now under love and grace. Okay. Also, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter and the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Don't forget about your adjective PDF along with your 400 values PDF. I changed my whole CM scale to the Janky Promoter game, and make sure you apologize to Kanye West because this is a Sims game. This is a whole hologram. Nothing in this thing is real. And because a lot of us are waking up, you see where our leaders are falling apart. Because everything that they was doing was an illusion. And now that we see it, everybody is slipping on their pippin. Okay? Don't forget to look at my new school app. Come in, spend some time with me. I would love to spend some time with you. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who, Influential Women of 2025 and Women Worldwide. And look what I received in 2017. You see that? That beautiful flag. This is from the work that I was doing with my nonprofit, Refuge Women's Transition Center. I was bringing women and teenage girls out of sex trafficking. And then the people that was helping me left to go help someone else with a bigger name to do the same thing I was doing. And God said, let it go, just keep it moving. I said, say less. And then people kept saying, why don't you work with a bigger name? The bigger name is doing this. And I was just like, God said, no, you do what I told you to do. And I said, amen. See, people don't understand when God tells you to do something, you do what God tells you to do. You don't start floating with everybody, okay? And then I was helping out teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI. And the ones that came out and said they were pregnant to their families kicked them out. I said, no, I'm pulling out of girls every week, every day almost seem like from sex trafficking. And you gonna put them out here on the street? They gonna be gone. We got too many interstates out here. And then I was having domestic violence victims, and we took everything from them, and we said, we're gonna give you a flip phone, and this flip phone is gonna have basic commodities on it. That's it. And we had them to delete the phone number of the person they was dealing with, all of that, but they remembered how to get there. So we lost 2 women because they went back more than once. Everybody's addicted to something, so I don't judge. People are addicted to cigarettes and they are coughing their lung up and still smoking. People are addicted to weed. They'll go to the emergency room and they say they're going through withdrawal symptoms, or they say that disease, that thing that you get when you smoke so much weed, it starts affecting your system, and they'll come home and still smoke some weed, even though they're taking the medication. They're addicted. And the people that's addicted to going to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a day, or the people that's used to working out 3, 4, 5 times a day. Okay. Everybody's addicted to something and eating healthy. Everybody's addicted to something. That's why I don't judge nobody. Read Matthew 7, 1 through 5 for yourself, and you'll see. Because see, the minute you start judging people, God said, oh, you want some of that? I know I don't want none. I'm good. I don't need none. I'm good. And then I was helping people that lost everything in house fires and floods. And people knew I had a nonprofit, so I didn't have to look far. People was always giving me bedding, clothes, shoes, children's clothes, baby food, bassinets. I had bassinets on top of bassinets, and baby stuff, and beds and mattresses and stuff, and they would just give it to you because they were leaving to go out of state. And I was like, yeah, I need this stuff because people going to be starting over. Then all of a sudden, I don't know where, there was just started being a huge flow of house fires and and apartment fires and floods, and people was coming from distances to come and get what I had. And I was like, how many rooms you need? And they would tell me, I said, only get what you need because somebody else is coming. And then I would give them toiletries. I would give them the female toiletries for themselves, and I would give them the fingernail polish and the fingernail polish remover. Because, you know, when you come down off that shop, you want to feel good. And let me tell you why I gave them the fingernail polish and fingernail polish remover. You have to be still to paint. You can't be shaking. So that means you have to come out of shop mode to relax. There was a purpose in everything, okay? I've been homeless before, and I know what that shop feels like. And the thing is, in order to paint your nails, you got to come out of shop. Now you understand. It's a public health and mental health process. And then I was putting out stuff all on social media because I wanted to help somebody for Thanksgiving. So I said, I want to help 2 families. This young lady reached out, and I said, great. And my budget said honey baked ham. Okay. So I went and catered honey baked ham for Thanksgiving. And then on top of that, I gave them $150 worth of groceries. And then I found out that some old people was getting ready to get laid off from their job. And so I said, give me the name, put it in a bowl, pull them out. 2 families, they received 2 gifts for their children, but I didn't wrap anything. I let them wrap their own gifts for their children so it could be their own thing. So they look like that. You don't never want to tear a family down in front of their children. And then I also gave them honey baked ham. And then I gave them $150. Okay. Then I helped 2 women to go to therapy. Okay. I helped 2 women to go to therapy 3 to 6 months. And I also gave them $250 or $150 for groceries. If you want to see all of this, I put it on my website. Refuge Women's Transition Center, www.rwt as in Tom, C as in Charlie.org. You can see everything that I was doing there. God